Welcome, everyone. We are here today to explore some of the most captivating mysteries in ancient scripture, the enigmatic figures of Enoch, Elijah, and Melchizedek. The stories of these three individuals not only defy our conventional understanding of existence and mortality, but also challenge our relationship with the divine. Their narratives, steeped in layers of rich symbolism and meaning, have inspired an innumerable range of interpretations over thousands of years. Enoch, Elijah, and Melchizedek. These are names that echo through the corridors of ancient wisdom, literature, and religious tradition. They are the protagonists of some of the most mysterious, intriguing, and compelling narratives in the sacred texts of the Judeo-Christian tradition. Yet who were these individuals? Were they historical figures whose lives were etched into the annals of time, whose real footprints can still be traced in the shifting sands of human history? Or were they archetypes, symbolic representations of deep spiritual truths and timeless human experiences on the journey towards inner awakening and transformation? Enoch, Elijah, Melchizedek. These names evoke questions that span the fields of history, archaeology, theology, and psychology. They are wrapped in layers of myth, legend, and allegory. Unraveling these layers is not merely an intellectual exercise, but also a quest for the spiritual essence that lies at the heart of human existence. These stories touch upon the existential depths of the human condition, about who we are, where we come from, and where we are going. They explore the relationship between the human and the divine, between mortal and immortal, between the temporal and the eternal. In the narratives of these figures, we encounter our shared human longing for connection, understanding, and transcendence. Yet the stories of Enoch, Elijah, and Melchizedek aren't simply to be read. They're to be pondered, explored, and experienced. Their tales awaken curiosity, invoke wonder, and invite us into a space of reflection and inquiry. They beckon us to dive deeper into the collective human experience and our individual spiritual journeys, to seek out the truth that resonates within our hearts and lives. Let's first delve into the fascinating narrative of Enoch, the man who walked with God. Enoch is mentioned only briefly in the Book of Genesis, with the startling revelation that he walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. This tantalizing hint of immortality or transcendence has intrigued scholars, theologians, and spiritual seekers for millennia. In the grand tapestry of biblical narratives, Enoch stands out due to his uniquely close relationship with God. It is suggested that he reached a state of purity or enlightenment that transcended the physical and temporal limitations of human existence. By embodying the ideal of divine communion, Enoch became a symbol of ultimate spiritual aspiration. If we metaphorically unpack the phrase "walked with God," we can interpret it as a journey of continuous spiritual progression. It signifies a state of being in harmony with the divine essence, living in a constant state of higher awareness or divine consciousness. Enoch's life journey reflects an arduous spiritual quest that culminated in transcending the mortal realm. The symbolism of Enoch encourages us to seek our own spiritual enlightenment and to strive for a deeper, more profound connection with the divine. Now, the enigmatic Enoch is primarily mentioned in two ancient texts, the Book of Genesis in the Bible and the Book of Enoch, an ancient Jewish religious work ascribed to Enoch himself. In the Book of Genesis, Enoch is briefly mentioned as the seventh generation from Adam and Eve, the first human couple. The Bible states, "Enoch walked faithfully with God, then he was no more, because God took him away." These simple yet profound lines have stirred intrigue and interpretations for centuries. The Book of Enoch, however, offers a more elaborate narrative, treating us to a whirlwind of visions, journeys, and revelations. It is in this book that Enoch's status as a righteous man is affirmed, and his unique relationship with the divine is explored further. The Book of Enoch divides Enoch's life into three sections. The first section concerns the Watchers, heavenly beings who descended to earth to impart wisdom to humanity. Enoch, chosen for his piety, acted as an intermediary between these beings and humans. In the second part of the Book of Enoch, we accompany Enoch on a series of journeys through heaven and earth. In these celestial journeys, he is shown the workings of the universe, the movement of celestial bodies, the secrets of the weather, and even the mysteries of the earth itself. These revelations underline Enoch's exceptional role as a man given divine wisdom beyond human understanding. The final section of the Book of Enoch describes Enoch's transformation into the angel Metatron. This part of Enoch's story is particularly fascinating as it encapsulates his final transcendence from the mortal to the divine. Enoch, in his role as Metatron, becomes the celestial scribe, recording all the deeds of humanity and maintaining the cosmic order. Enoch's narrative encourages us to view life as a journey of continuous spiritual progression. His unique relationship with the divine, the wisdom imparted to him, and his ultimate transformation into a celestial being all underline the extraordinary spiritual potential that lies within each of us. The narrative invites us to seek knowledge, cultivate wisdom, and strive for a profound connection with the divine, much like Enoch himself. In Enoch's story, we find elements of human aspiration, divine interaction, and profound metaphysical transformations. It serves as a captivating tale that blurs the boundaries between the earthly and the divine, reminding us of the potential for spiritual growth and divine communion. Moving on, we encounter Elijah, the fiery prophet who did not taste death, but was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind. The image of Elijah being swept up into the heavens in a chariot of fire is one of the most striking scenes in the Old Testament. This image has become a powerful symbol of divine intervention and the transcendence of mortal limitations. Elijah, whose name means Yahweh is my God, emerged during a period of rampant idolatry in the northern kingdom of Israel. Known for his unwavering devotion to God, he was instrumental in guiding the Israelites back to the worship of Yahweh, demonstrating through his life and actions the power and love of the one true God. One of the most famous stories involving Elijah occurs on Mount Carmel. Ahab, the king of Israel, and his wife Jezebel had been promoting the worship of the Canaanite god, Baal. To prove the futility of their idolatrous worship, Elijah proposed a contest. He invited the prophets of Baal to prepare a bull for sacrifice and call upon their god to set it ablaze. Despite their impassioned pleas and self-inflicted wounds, Baal remained silent. Then it was Elijah's turn. He prepared his bull, doused it in water thrice for added dramatic effect, and prayed to Yahweh. Fire from heaven consumed his offering, even licking up the water in the trench around the altar, proving unequivocally that Yahweh was the one true God. Following this victory, Elijah had to contend with the wrath of Queen Jezebel, who sought his life. He fled to Mount Horeb, where he experienced a profound revelation. Expecting God in grand displays of nature, a mighty wind, an earthquake, and a fire, Elijah instead found God in a still small voice, a gentle whisper that instilled peace and reassured him of God's presence. Another incredible story of Elijah involves his exit from this world, which is unique in the biblical narrative. 2 Kings 2 describes how Elijah was taken up to heaven in a whirlwind, with a chariot of fire and horses of fire. This dramatic departure from the earth is one of the reasons why Elijah is often associated with themes of eschatology, and why he plays a role in Jewish, Christian, and Islamic traditions regarding the end times. Enoch, Melchizedek, and Elijah. These figures may not dominate the narrative stage of the Bible, but their stories have left a significant impact on our understanding of faith, spirituality, and our relationship with the divine. They're enigmatic and dramatic, often operating outside the norms of their time, challenging us to look beyond the ordinary and expect the extraordinary in our spiritual journey. Elijah's life was filled with remarkable miracles. He raised a widow's son from the dead, called down fire from heaven, and even outran a chariot. Yet it's his exit from earth that's often remembered the most. Unlike most mortals, Elijah did not experience death. Instead, he was taken to heaven in a whirlwind, with a fiery chariot and horses appearing to separate him from his successor, Elisha. This momentous event further emphasized Elijah's unique status and connection with God. Elijah's stories, filled with divine interactions, miracles, and triumphs over adversities, serve as potent reminders of God's power and faithfulness. He stood unflinching in the face of idolatry, reminding the Israelites of their covenant with God. Elijah's narrative encourages us to stay committed to our convictions, even when the world around us chooses a different path. As we unpack the narratives surrounding Elijah, we uncover deep spiritual truths and lessons. His life, steeped in devotion and divine interactions, continues to inspire us, highlighting the possibility of unwavering faith and divine communion, and reminding us of the potency of humble prayer and listening for the divine in the stillness. Just like we did with Enoch, looking closely at Elijah's life gives us an opportunity to explore a rich spiritual heritage, understand biblical teachings, and draw inspiration for our own spiritual journeys. Elijah's life was marked by prophetic revelations and miraculous events, demonstrating an intimate connection with the divine. His ascension to heaven in such a dramatic fashion symbolizes a spiritual elevation, highlighting the possibility of transcending the material realm. In a deeper sense, Elijah's story teaches us that committed spiritual dedication can potentially lead us to realms beyond our ordinary understanding. Elijah's fiery ascent to heaven also symbolizes purification and transformation. Fire, throughout numerous traditions, is often a symbol of purification, transformation, and ascension. Hence, the fiery ascent of Elijah can be viewed as an allegory for the spiritual transformation that each one of us is capable of, given the right commitment and understanding. Lastly, we have the enigma of Melchizedek, the timeless priest-king who appears in the Book of Genesis without any mention of his ancestry or death. The name Melchizedek means king of righteousness, and he is also referred to as the king of Salem, which means king of peace. But what makes Melchizedek truly unique is his somewhat mysterious nature. Unlike other biblical figures, his lineage isn't mentioned. We're not given details about his birth or death. This lack of backstory and lineage has caused many scholars and theologians to delve deeper into understanding who Melchizedek was. Some have seen him as a theophany, a visible manifestation of God. Others view him as a type of Christ, a foreshadowing of Jesus himself. Melchizedek's story doesn't end in Genesis. His name appears again in the Psalms. Psalm 110, a royal psalm written by David, says, "You are a priest forever, in the order of Melchizedek." This psalm, which is cited several times in the New Testament, is understood to refer prophetically to the Messiah, who, like Melchizedek, would be both a king and a priest. The New Testament's Book of Hebrews elaborates further on this comparison, providing the most extensive commentary on Melchizedek in the Bible. In Hebrews 7, the author points out Melchizedek's lack of genealogy as indicating a timeless, eternal nature. This is used as a basis for presenting Jesus Christ as a high priest in the order of Melchizedek, suggesting an eternal priesthood that surpasses the temporary earthly priesthood of the Levites. The figure of Melchizedek presents a timeless spiritual archetype, one that transcends lineage, mortality, and even history. As a king and a priest, Melchizedek embodies the dual aspects of temporal leadership and spiritual guidance. In a spiritual context, he represents a state of being where one can balance and harmoniously integrate the worldly and the divine aspects of existence. Melchizedek's narrative encourages us to strive for inner peace, righteousness, and a harmonious balance between the spiritual and the physical. It serves as a reminder that spirituality and worldly responsibilities are not mutually exclusive, but can be seamlessly integrated for a well-rounded existence. By exploring the tales of Enoch, Elijah, and Melchizedek, we understand that ancient scriptures provide a complex lens to perceive the world, offering numerous layers of meaning waiting to be unfolded. These figures, in their distinct ways, symbolize a transformative journey that transcends the material realm. They represent the ideal of divine communion, where the boundaries between human and heavenly blur, and they endure as symbols of a spiritual ideal that reaches beyond the constraints of physical existence and mortal limits. To conclude, in studying these biblical figures, we delve into narratives filled with divine encounters, faith confrontations, and images of devotion that span the ordinary human experience. Whether it's Enoch's exceptional relationship with God, Melchizedek's dual role as king and priest, or Elijah's fiery passion for monotheism, these characters offer insights into the complexities of faith and the transformative power of a relationship with the divine. These enigmas compel us to delve deeper into our own spiritual beliefs and question our understanding of reality. Their tales not only inspire theological speculation, but also incite introspection and personal reflection. Their narratives remind us that the spiritual journey is as much about inward exploration as it is about comprehending the divine. They also remind us that the divine often operates beyond our understanding and expectations, affirming the mystery, depth, and beauty of the faith journey. Each narrative adds another facet to the beautiful, multi-layered tapestry that is the biblical story, a story of divine love, human struggle, and the eternal quest for meaning and purpose. While we may not find definitive answers to these divine enigmas, the quest for understanding is, in itself, a journey worth undertaking. It's not just about revealing historical truths, but more about understanding the potential for spiritual transformation and the divine potential within each of us. In our next episode, we will continue our exploration of biblical enigmas by investigating some other fascinating characters and stories. So join us as we journey further into the captivating realm of divine mysteries and spiritual enlightenment. Until then, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep seeking your own truth. Thank you for joining us today on this journey into the spiritual mysteries of ancient scripture. Stay tuned for more as we continue to unravel the threads of these timeless tales and their profound wisdom.